Hi, I'm Norm, and as always, I'll be your guide as we travel across Canada in search of strange tales. In today's video, strange tales from the province of British Columbia. But first, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to click on the notification bell so you are informed each time we post a new video. British Columbia, or BC, is the westernmost province of Canada, situated between the Pacific Ocean and the Rocky Mountains. In the 2016 census, the province's recorded population was 4,648,055, making it Canada's third most populous province. The capital of British Columbia is Victoria, the 15th largest metropolitan region in Canada, named for Queen Victoria, who reigned over the British Empire at the time of Confederation. The largest city is Vancouver, the third largest metropolitan area in Canada, the largest in Western Canada, and the second largest in the Pacific Northwest. In October of 2013, Greater Vancouver had an estimated population of approximately 2.5 million people. British Columbia's economy is primarily based on forestry, mining, cinematography, and tourism. British Columbia also benefits from high property values and being a center for maritime trade. Let's start off our journey with number 1, the Empress Hotel, Victoria, BC. The apparition of a thin man with a mustache walking the halls with a cane, who is thought to be that of this building's architect, Francis Rattenbury. Also, the ghost of a maid is seen on the 6th floor, still cleaning after death. One room is haunted by a little girl, who is often seen by guests staying in the room. During the 1960s, a construction worker working on the West Tower's top floor saw a shadowy form swinging from the ceiling. Apparently, another worker hung himself there a year earlier. This area has been converted into high luxury suites. Guests have reported having an elderly woman in pajamas knocking on their door and looking lost. Upon trying to find her room, she leads people towards the elevators before simply disappearing. She is thought to be a specter who once haunted one of the rooms after dying of natural causes. But that room was demolished to make room for more elevators, leaving her missing within the hotel. Number 2, Hatley Castle, Hatley Park National Historical Site, Colwood, BC. This former military academy is haunted by a family that once lived there. It was built in 1908 for James Dunsmuir, a former premier and lieutenant governor of British Columbia. The castle stayed in the Dunsmuir family until 1930. However, once it was sold, a family of spirits moved in with the new tenants. The first sightings were of the son who lost his life in the Great War. He was seen by his sister walking along the edge of the pond beside this castle. When it was transformed into a military academy, Mrs. Dunsmuir's ghost began to appear. She has been known to drag young cadets out of their beds, pulling them to the floor in the middle of the night. Number 3, Hotel Vancouver, Vancouver, BC. During the 1930s and 40s, Jenny Pearl Cox was a hotel ballroom regular at this hotel. After she lost her life in a car collision in 1944, in front of the hotel, her apparition allegedly stuck around. Sightings range from a group of anonymous Japanese tourists whose room was already occupied by a lady in red. Cox was wearing a red dress at the time of her death, to visions of her passing through the elevator on the 1st and 14th floors. Her spirit has become so popular that there is even a cocktail named after her in the lounge. Number 4, St. Paul's Hospital, Vancouver, BC. The paranormal activity in this hospital are the apparition of former staff members and patients, electrical disturbances, disembodied voices with unexplained sounds, light anomalies, objects moving on their own, lights turning on and off by themselves, as well as a feeling of being watched. Number 5, Tranquil Sanitarium, Kamloops, BC. The building was built in 1907 to treat tuberculosis. A small community was built around it, including gardens, houses, a farm, fire department, and more facilities. In 1958, the hospital closed and was reopened in 1959 to treat the mentally ill. It closed permanently in 1983. A plan to demolition the site and turn the area into a resort was dropped. The site currently belongs to the Tranquil Fresh Farms and is used for agricultural purposes. Some believe the ghosts of former patients haunt the property. Number 6. Vogue Theatre, Vancouver, BC. The specter of a young pregnant woman who committed suicide haunts the lower levels of the building. Shadow figures are seen in the projection room. The dark apparition of a male is seen by visitors sitting in the seats, sometimes alone or with other apparitions. The spooky smells of alcohol and cigar smoke have filled the theater, as well as sounds of laughter and applause. Other paranormal activities are light anomalies, thick air that makes it almost impossible to walk, disembodied voices, shadow figures seen by visitors in the corner of anyone's eyes, apparitions in both washrooms, cold spots, and apparitions seen by witnesses in the mirrors. Number 7. Washington Avenue Grill, White Rock, BC. The restaurant staff, as well as patrons, have paranormal reports about 2 apparitions. A spectral young woman who was struck down by a car in front of the grill, and the romantic interest who committed suicide shortly after her death. Her apparition walks out of an adjacent cemetery, enters through the restaurant, and walks up as well as down the stairs. Her apparitional romantic interest is known for touching both staff members and patrons. Number 8. Bigfoot, British Columbia. Bigfoot is a large, hairy creature resembling an oversized monster gorilla that walks on 2 legs like a human, sometimes called Sasquatch, which means wild man. Reported sightings in the province go back about 200 years when the early settlers had encounters with this mythological animal. Many sightings have taken place in the Fraser Canyon region, with one of the latest in the Mission area in July 2013. Bigfoot is known to be most active between Harrison Hot Springs and Hope, and has also been sighted at several locations on Vancouver Island. Witness accounts range from seeing huge footprints, hearing unknown howling noises, and sometimes the elusive creature is seen moving through the forest, bathing in the river, or killing livestock for dinner. Sasquatch is usually rather shy, running off when spotted or if a camera comes out. It is not known to be vicious, not known to prey on humans as food sources, but there have been reports of people kidnapped by Sasquatch who later escaped to tell the tale. Number 9. Legend of Schlumack's Gold, Pitt Lake, BC. There is apparently a gold mine near Pitt Lake, filled with unimaginable riches. The piles of gold nuggets are as big as hills, dwarfing anyone who manages to find them. Of course, it could be a legend, but that hasn't stopped travelers world over from seeking the lost mine. Since Schlumack, an elder Katzie First Nation man, hanged for murder in 1891, the legend of the mine has evolved into tall tales and gothic stories involving murder, mysterious illness, and of course, mountains of gold. Schlumack himself was morphed over time as well. By 1926, he was a well-known figure in the newspapers and prospecting circles. No longer was he an elderly murderer, but a middle-aged hero capable of traversing treacherous mountains on his own to find the spot that only he knew existed. There are reports that he struck it rich in the late 1890s and took knowledge of the mine's whereabouts to the grave after he died. The location of the mine is still not known. Skeptics abound claim that the region is not suitable for the sort of gold that the legend suggests. Still, the adventure continues. Number 10. Scottish Nightingale, Shaughnessy, BC. In 1924, police found Janet Smith dead in the basement of her employer, with a bullet wound through her temple and a .45 caliber revolver near her right hand. Smith was a Scottish immigrant who'd taken a job as a nanny caring for the newborn baby of Frederick Baker, the owner of an importer-exporter business, and his wife Doreen. Smith's death was ruled a suicide, but her case was later reopened. Her body was exhumed, and her death ruled a murder. The baker's houseboy, a Chinese worker named Wong Fan Sing, was tried for her murder, but the case was thrown out due to lack of evidence. At the same time, other theories were gaining popularity, the lurid details capturing the attention of locals through the media. One theory suggested that she was raped and murdered by rich playboys who paid the local authorities to cover it up, while another said that she was murdered by Baker, who was believed to be a drug smuggler. The case has never been solved. There you have 10 strange tales from the province of British Columbia. These are just a few of the stories that come from BC, and perhaps we will venture back to the province in a future video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me next time when I bring you more tales that are strangely Canadian.